This is an overview of some common causes of conflict in teams and task groups. 1. Conflict over incompatible interests, needs, or wants. Conflict emerges when group members imagine vastly different outcomes or pursue misaligned personal goals. Larger conflicts can grow out of relatively simple incompatibilities. One member may need an environment that prioritizes efficiency while another cares more about fostering creativity and exploration. This isn't limited to just interests, needs, and wants strictly within the context of work or the team. Personal, political, or religious differences, for example, often find their way into casual conversations in professional work settings. Naturally, these incompatibilities are amplified when team members refuse to compromise, are intolerant, or lack cultural awareness. 2. Conflict over work habits, tone, and personality. Group conflict is also triggered by differences in individual and interpersonal behavior. Team members inevitably have distinct personalities, working styles, and interaction habits. One who is highly detail-oriented may be frustrated with someone more casual. Individuals who tend not to defer to authority may violate the expectations and sensibilities of others who are more concerned with such social conventions. Similarly, differences in tone can cause tension, even unintentionally. For example, people use humor in vastly different ways. Someone who uses humor as a way to relate to others may come across as unprofessional to those who expect more serious work behaviors. 3. Conflict over resources or territory. Groups typically work within the constraints of time, limited budgets, or limited access to shared materials. Conflict can arise when some members feel they must compete for those resources, or when responsibilities overlap in ways that threaten a sense of ownership or place. Territorial disputes may occur if team members perceive encroachment on their assigned roles or expertises. And this isn't just about staplers and ink pens either. Intangible resources like attention, autonomy, or even access to leadership can become contested ground. 4. Recognition and recognition seeking. Individuals generally want their contributions to be noticed and valued. Resentment may be fueled when recognition is unevenly distributed or when some members feel overlooked or undervalued compared to others. Recognition-based conflict is particularly common in collaborative projects where group success makes it difficult sometimes to single out and reward members for their individual contributions. Members may become competitive about who gets credit, which can fracture trust and cooperation. Likewise, teammates who focus too much on receiving individual recognition can end up offending or alienating those to whom shared credit comes more naturally. 5. Ambiguity or lack of clarity about tasks and goals. Unclear roles, vague instructions, or shifting goals can lead to frustration and conflict. Ambiguity leaves members uncertain about what is expected of them, how decisions should be made, who should make the decisions, and potentially even what qualifies as success for the team. This often results in people working harder instead of smarter, missed opportunities, delays in progress, or just ongoing disagreements about who is supposed to do what. When a group does not have clearly defined processes, members create their own interpretations, and those interpretations can inevitably clash. Now, one way to think about conflicts like these is through the framework of primary and secondary tensions. Our understanding of this extends from Robert Bales' work on group dynamics back in the 50s and 60s. Most group leadership textbooks today have at least one small section on primary and secondary tensions. The main thing to keep in mind about these is that they are a natural aspect of group formation and development. Primary tensions usually happen in the early stages of group development, and they are marked by what we can think of as anxiety or uncertainty-driven behaviors, nervousness, shyness, being overly polite, etc. Here, the tension is within the individual. They are feeling the tension, the worry of doing something wrong, the uncertainty of how they should behave, who their teammates are, etc. Secondary tensions come later, after the individual has let down their guard, warmed up to the team, when they feel more comfortable riffing, expressing themselves, advocating for their perspectives, or even challenging others. Here, the tension is between individuals. Although these concepts can be considered entirely independent of one another, it is important to remember that secondary tensions are sometimes, perhaps even often, made more intense by having been preceded by primary tensions. That is, inauthentic behavior motivated by primary tensions can set an unrealistic expectation that is later violated, causing the secondary tension to be even more pronounced. Thanks for listening.